If I were to be asked what is my single best accomplishment after 20 years, it's hiring Alexei Ratmansky.
Alexei Ratmansky is one of the most sought-after choreographers in the ballet. Born in St. Petersburg, he studied at the Bolshoi Ballet School and eventually became its artistic director. But running a large ballet company left little time for creativity.
And he just wanted to choreograph. He wanted a position somewhere where he could anchor himself in the world. Was appealing to him.
I didn't really know American ballet theater before I started to work here. So intuitively, I think, I felt that this is the right place. The working ethics of American dancers in the studio is 200% devotion. It's a paradise for a choreographer. Also, American ballet theater, they do a lot of classics.
However, all the classics were created during different times for different audiences, and making them relevant for today is not easy.
The body changes, the taste changes, the technique changes completely. So the technique of today's dancer is completely different from how they did it in the 19th century. So in a sense, it's a balancing act. You need to be fair to the original. You need to try to carry the idea of the original work, but at the same time, you need to update it.
It's one of the most interesting things in dance history, this thing that he talks about refreshing older ballets. It's connected to what older choreographers like George Balanchine and Frederick Ashton did, that to keep the 19th century ballets alive, you actually have to tweak them.
Alexei has this way of preserving classical ballet that I have a huge amount of respect for.
He took great pains to be sure that they were authentic, that the passages of choreography were as close to historically accurate as possible.
Balanchine completely overhauled the Nutcracker, but did it within the general shape of the traditional Nutcracker. Ratmansky's Nutcracker, interestingly, isn't like that. He's done a completely different Nutcracker and has no real connection to the traditional original Nutcracker.
On the surface of it, it's Nutcracker. I mean, the party happens, the kids are there, the snow falls, the tree grows, but it's the way in which he does it. Like a key element is in the snow scene. It's one of the best snow scenes I've ever seen because the snow corps de ballet, the women in the corps de ballet, are in fact a collective character. They're not a bunch of pretty girls running around in the snow in white tutus. They're a threatening presence.
Ratmansky kind of shows you both the child and the grown-up she will grow up to in her dream of romance, and so you sort of see parallel universes. I've never seen the Nutcracker handled quite that way, when you see the two couples, adult and child, side by side. And you really can see that not only they're just the romantic couple, but they are still the child within them laughing at themselves having achieved this romance. That's wonderful.
Ballet is the visual representation of music. The choreographer uses the music as a roadmap for the dancer's emotional journey through the ballet.
I really would listen to the music a million times to know it by heart, and then try to sense the rhythmical structure or the overall idea or overall picture that I would like to have at the end. I really envision the ballet, the whole thing, before I go to the studio, but I definitely prefer to be well prepared, because as a former dancer, I remember how we all appreciated the ones who came prepared.
When Alexei comes in the studio, he has this little book, and he opens it up, and it seems like he's written down steps and formations and an idea of what he wants to give you.
He comes into the studio, he has an idea, he lays it out to us. And then it's a sort of evolution or molding of the steps that he already had in mind, this sort of blooming of the steps. It just gets more and more complex.
As you do so, tend to now travel backwards a bit. it's very clear he has in his mind what he wants to see. And he is feverishly imparting that to you to try to get you to understand what it is that he wants, and keep pushing you and pushing you and pushing you until you get it.
You go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then soutenu just facing front. Okay? Make sure that the soutenu is with the accent at the end of it, yeah, to finish. The relationship between the choreographer and the dancer, it's a very intimate relationship. If there is no trust, then it doesn't really work. Because the choreographer can't do his own ballet himself. He needs an instrument, and he needs to completely trust this instrument. He trusts the instrument with the body, the mind, the imagination of the dancer.
Brightstream for me was a complete surprise because I knew in the second act he had pointe shoes on and a dress, and I thought to myself, I'm not doing that. I'm not putting on a dress and I'm not putting on pointe shoes because I'll injure myself, and, you know, putting on dresses really isn't my thing. Then I turned it around and I thought, I have complete trust in Alexei, so he won't exploit the dancer embarrassingly. And I took a stab at it like that, and it completely blew me away. Because not only did I learn to fake dancing on point, I learned a sort of comedic timing, and I kept reminding myself that I don't have to sell it to the audience. I don't have to really do any work, because just me standing there in a dress is already work enough.
So 6, 7, 8, 1, 2. Not enough throw, I think. Yeah. No. We'll do again. Really, this way. And 1 and 2.
You want to try any step that he gives you, to the point where you really just can't move after like a half an hour. And he's still going. Like, he will just still keep on going. He does the step with you as many times as you do, because he will show it and then you will do it. And he will show it and you will do it.
I think Alexei brings to ABT this sort of pushing beyond the boundaries of the dancer, beyond not only our comfort zone, but what we think we're capable of individually as dancers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Every time Alexei walks in the studio, he has a smile on his face. It's almost like he turns into like a little kid walking into a playground, because he's just so excited what he's going to do in the next hour with us. And you get excited too. Your whole personality changes. For that whole hour, he does not raise his voice. He does not say, that doesn't look good. He makes you want to be a better dancer for him.
Probably no dancer who has ever worked for Alexei in the creative process has not enjoyed it.
He seems to have this extraordinary way of motivating the corps de ballet. In some pieces he makes them all absolutely individuals, and they've all got their own little place in this community. Sometimes he just breaks down a unit so they've all got individual roles, even if they're snowflakes in his nutcracker. You notice this group over there is different from that group there, and they all intermesh in different ways.
This season, ABT will premiere a full-length program of 3 one-act ballets, all set to the music of Shostakovich.
My love for Shostakovich, I can't really explain it. Well, I can say that I'm Russian and this is Russian music. I grew up with it. I've been listening to Shostakovich since I was, 15. I always wanted to choreograph it.
The connection between Shostakovich and Ratmansky is something that I'm so curious about. And there is a quality of secrecy and code within Shostakovich's music that he seems to be awake to. I'm very curious as to what he's going to ferret out and to what degree they're going to be available to the audience. I've found Symphony No. 9 absolutely compelling, mysterious.
With his unique brand of inventiveness and rich cross-cultural references, Alexei Ratmansky has commissions coming in from dance companies around the world, but he has recently extended his contract with ABT through 2025.
What is next? Well, many ballets, story and abstract, and I have a big list of music that I'm going to use, and I'm happy that there's a place where I can realize my ideas and I'm supported. I feel very lucky.